So hello everyone, thank you for joining me today for the TECHX session. So my name is Arpit Kaire and I'm excited to talk to you about the Drupal RESTful Web Services. So what are uh, the REST services and what Drupal has got for us, and we'll explore like how to set them up, how they work, and how and what the Drupal has got for us when it comes to the REST API and some benefits and their applications. So we'll also explore the key features that Drupal provides and some useful modules. And we'll also going to see some great examples and the use cases. All right, so let's first discuss about what exactly is the REST. What is an a REST? So as the REST stands for the Representational State Transfer API, it's an architectural style for designing the network applications. Like web service makes it possible for other applications to read, update information on your site via the web. So in simple words, we can say that REST is it's a way of where two applications talk to each other using some simple and some standard methods. And what are these methods? These methods are the HTTP methods, the HTTP protocols that are provided, naming like the get method, post methods, push method, patch methods, delete methods. So these methods are used by the platforms to interact with each other with regards to what they are trying to achieve. Uh, that way they can read data, they can delete the data, they can update the data, and they can also create new data. So like the RESTful APIs are commonly used for to enable the interaction between the API clients, as I mentioned, like the websites and the application interact with each other with the help of REST APIs. Uh, and so it acts as a bridge between the client and the server. So REST API is a bridge between the client and the server. If you could see in the image provided, so the client is requesting something from the server. So and the REST API is acting as the bridge between the client and the server. So the client is trying to fetch some data from the server. It is requesting the data using the get method. So the request is entertained by, taken to the server with the help of REST API, and the server responds to it, manipulates is whatever be the logic, and then gets back with the data in the form of JSON or XML, whichever way it is been requested. When it comes to Drupal, Drupal also provides a very good and a very it's got a built-in RESTful API web services functionality, and it allows external applications to interact with our Drupal content and data using the same REST architectural structure as I mentioned. So we can get the content created, we can retrieve the data from our Drupal website, and we can also delete or update our uh, data. So basically, we can perform all the CRUD operations with the help of REST services and with the help of the HTTP methods provided. Here are some of the key features that Drupal web services provides us. So let's discuss about them. So it's the first one comes with the entity exposure. So with the help of the REST APIs, we can get the node data, the user data, the taxonomy. And as I mentioned, we can get or manipulate these data. We can get them updated. We can create new users, new nodes, and everything can be done with the help of the RESTful services. And with the help of these methods, like the get method, post method, patch method, and the delete method, we can manipulate our data. And these are the standard HTTP protocol that is used by the REST and uh, available for us for in the Drupal RESTful services as well. So if you could see in the image, so the methods supported by the Drupal are get method, post method, patch method, delete method. So basically what's happening here is if you want to get the data, so we are requesting the server with the get method. So we are fetching the data from the server. The client sends a request as a get method to the server. The server responds to it in the form of a JSON. You get a 200. That means everything is good, and you get the data. If you want to create a new content, so we'll be using the post methods there. And if we want to update any data, so we are going to use the patch method. And of course, if you want to get the data deleted or removed, so the delete method, that's what is being used. And next is the authentication options. As we know, the data is very important and very precious, and all data cannot be exposed all the time. So if you have any sensitive data, or the data that can only be accessed through some uh, authenticated sources, so that's where Drupal has also got us back. We have got some special authentication method that are supported by our Drupal RESTful services. So the modules like basic auth and OAuth and cookie based authentication, such authentication methods are provided and can be used. Another very important and very useful feature that Drupal provides us is the flexibility for using or managing the Drupal services. Uh, admin can configure their resources whichever they want. If they want to enable something, if they want to disable something, that can be managed over the UI itself. So that makes it very handy for the admins to manage their resources. Another one is the data formats. The Drupal supports and provides us the data in the form of JSON and the XML. That's the most widely used data formats. Here are some of the useful modules that are used. Some of them are provided by Drupal itself, are the part of Drupal core now, but also some of if you want to enhance your RESTful services, and if you want to explore more and use more functionality, so always some contributed modules are available. So RESTful Web Services is the very first module that we could require and is a part of Drupal core that we need to enable if you want to use the Drupal's RESTful services, and it's built-in available now. And the serialization is again it is provided in the core itself, used for converting the data for in the form of JSON and XML. HL is another, but an contributed module used for serializing entities as hypertext application language. And the REST API is a very wonderful and the game changer here when it comes to the RESTful services, because this is the module that provides us a UI for managing all our resources on the system. We can like manage everything, and we are going to explore that in a while. And again, for the authentications, we have different modules like simple auth and HTTP basic authentications. So these are the again contributed modules that we will be using to secure our APIs and make our data safe. So let's now go to our application and see some great examples how to use the available resources and how to explore the Drupal's RESTful services. So as I mentioned, just scroll down to the bottom, you will see the web services options here. I have already enabled the web services module as it is the part of Drupal core, and it's all available with all your installations. Whenever you install a new Drupal website, so it's always available there. So the very first thing is we need to enable this module. So other one is the HL module, as I just mentioned, the authentication modules. So these are the modules that we basically require. So whenever we enable this module, the RESTful Web Services, so we will see an web services option in the configuration menu. And if we go to the REST resources, So that's where you are going to see all the available REST resources that are available into our system. So these are all available in the core itself. So you can use them, enable them, and use them as per your requirements. So this is the one that majorly being used that is related to the content. So whenever we are installing this, so this automatic gets enabled. Otherwise, if you want, you can always disable them. So if you want any of the other services, like we say, this is our custom resource, so we can enable them. So we land on a customization again. So we can choose whatever ways we want to manage this resource with. So we'll come to this later on. Okay, so I have enabled that. So now these resources are enabled and available to be used. So let's go to the content. Okay, so these are the methods available for us to manipulate the data. Like we can get the data, create new data with this, delete the existing ones, and update any existing one we want. And the form we want our data to be is JSON form. There are three other forms available. This is coming from the HL module that we just enabled, and this is the authentication uh, method that we are going to use. So we just saved it. Okay, let's go to the Postman now. Okay. So I have installed the Postman extension available for VS Code, so we don't have to like install it separately. It's a very good extension already available. So, all right. So if you could see in the URL, so let's go back again. So these are the URLs available here, right? And sorry, the methods available and the URL to access those is this, like node/id if you want to update or delete something or get something, and rest just /node. So if you see here, this is our base URL /node, and the ID we are providing, because we want to use the get method here, and we want to get the data for a particular ID, data from a particular ID for a particular node. So we are using the get method here. We are choosing the get method. We are providing the node ID here and providing the form that we want the data in. So if we just click on send, you see the data is coming in the form of a JSON where node ID is 1. So this is the data from the node 1. When we change the ID to something else, let's say 2, the data is updated. So the NID is 2, the UID. So that way we can simply get, because we are just fetching the data, so nothing as such or any more configurations are required. So we just need to hit this URL with the get method, and we can just get the data in the form of JSON as we have mentioned the format JSON. Okay, so next one is the post method. So post method, with the help of post method, as it says, we are posting something and creating a new content or this over the site. So if you want something created, let's say user or taxonomy or a new node methods, we can create our content on our site. So let's see that how we can do that. All right. So again, so we will be providing the URL for creating the node for us. We'll be using post method here. So node slash. So here, as we are creating the content, so we don't need to specify any ID. It will be automatically generated in the and data. This is the data that we are providing, will be providing. So the form of the data that we will be providing. Okay. Okay. So this is the JSON data that we are providing here. If you see, the type represents the what type of node we are creating here. So it is type article here. So title RD is article, and the title we are giving is node created using post method, and the body is nothing but the CK editor body. So value we are providing here as this, and the format we are going to use is the basic HTML here. So if we go on to the content, so we don't see any content or such title right now. Okay. So when I hit send, if you see here, the ID has been updated to 59. And let's go back to our system and check. There you go. So we have the node created. So this was the title coming from the JSON that we provided. And this is the node body. And this is the basic HTML we chose into the body in the JSON that we have provided. Okay, so when creating this or generating the data, so the permissions are very important. So like we cannot allow everyone to like access our website and create whatever they want, right? So what I have done here is, or we would need to do is, we need to provide the authentication here. So let's go back. That's where that this authentication is re- come coming to like use. So we have used the basic authentication method, right? So like if I just remove this, sorry, not here. Let's go to permission. Okay, so I'm removing the permission for the user to create the. Okay. Now, in the authorization, as we have used the basic auth, so I'm providing the basic auth option, and the user that I have created was having a content editor role. So with this credential, I was logging into this and using the services. Now, if I just try to do so, you're not authorized to create this node entity of type bundle article. Why? Because if you see here, this is the user, and I have assigned the content editor role here. And if we check back again, so this role doesn't have a permission for creating the article contents. Now, again, if we just give the permission, save, go back, credentials are already provided with basic auth. Now, if I just hit, so I got a new NID that is 60. So if we go back and check, so now we have another content created with an NID as 60 and the values here. So it is very important to manage the permissions when we are when we are trying to access or giving access to our REST resources when it comes for to creating, deleting, or updating the contents. So now let's go and check on other options. So we just explored the post option. We also have a patch option here enabled for us. That means we can update the data with the help of a REST resource. So let's go and try to update the one that we just created. So last we created the node was for ID 60, right? Yeah, that's the 60 is the ID. So there you go. So this is the URL, the base URL / node, because we are updating a node. So we'll be providing the node ID here. And the form Again, the data that we are providing in the form of JSON. So the parameter will be going as underscore format JSON in the body. So this is the JSON that we are providing. Because we want to just update the title here. So we are providing title. If you want, we can also, let me just grab another. I think something is wrong with my. All right. So currently we are just updating the title. If you want more fields, you can add more fields here, whatever you want. If you want to update the body, so you can update the body also from adding here. So like body, and add the data, whatever data you want. So let's just for now update the title. So we are updating the title to updated node created using Postgres. That's the last node we created with the title. So now we are updating the title. This is a very important one to provide. Why? Because I'll let you know later. Let's first update the title. So this is 60. Let's see. All right. So now the status we got is as 200. Okay. And the node ID is 60. If we just scroll down here, we should be seeing a title. Yeah, there you go. So the title is updated node created using post method. If we go, so we were on this page. If I just refresh it, yeah. So the title has been updated. Similarly, the different fields methods can also values can also be updated, providing all the fields that we want to update into this JSON. Now, if we just get rid of this and just provide the data, what we get? So we get an error saying that cannot determine for which particular uh, entity you want to update your data for. Although you have provided the node ID, but still, so it's very important that you include the type into the JSON that you're passing into the body whenever you are updating any content. Again, the same, the the privileges or the permissions are very important here. So the rest will only allow us if we have particular or the specific permission to update or the update the data. Like if we see here, yeah, if we see here, so currently the editor content has edit any content privileges. That's why we were able to do that. If we just get rid of this and save, now if we try to do that, let's see what we get. Mm, what's happening here? Okay, it was own content. That's the reason. Let's see. All right. As we just revoked the permissions, now we got the permission here issue here, so we cannot update our content. So again, this way, I mean, we can manage the permissions and allow the user to update or not to update the content. So next, moving to the other method, that is the delete method. So if you want to get some content deleted from our system with the REST resources, that can be done. So let's go back again to the Postman. Okay. So here is the URL. This is the base URL, the node/10, the number 10. I think it is deleted now. 10 number node we want to delete if we send the data. Okay, so we got an error. The status is 404 not found, and the error saying that the node or the parameter was not converted into the path. That means 404 not found, meaning this data or the node has already been deleted. Now, if I just go and make it to 11 and send, okay, so delete any page content permission is required. So the user that we are trying to access the node delete functionality from is not having the proper privileges to delete the node. If we just go and check on delete, I think the node is of different type, should be. All right, let's just delete the 61. Okay, that's deleted. So we just got 204 no content. That means the content has been removed. So this is the content that we last edited and has a ID 60. If we just reload it, it's not found. That means we were able to delete that content from our system with the help of REST UI. Okay, so we just just took a look at the functionalities that the resource services provides us with. We can update, create, delete, and also manage the permissions from the UI itself. That is, and it makes it very flexible for us to manage our REST resources. Also, so these were the APIs that was provided by Drupal itself. But also, if you want to make your own, obviously Drupal always handy when it comes to making customizations, or if you want to create your own things, you can always make your own uh, um, REST resources. So yes, we can create our own. This is the one that I have created. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so this is the basic structure that we need to follow. So I have created a custom module named custom REST resources. And inside that, we have a SRC folder, a plugin folder, a REST folder, and a resource folder. So here we have the custom REST resources.php file. This is the resource file, the custom resource file that I have created. So what we are doing here is we are using a get method to fetch the node data with our custom code. So we are extending the resource base class, which is provided. So basically it's a plugin. So we'll be like very first thing is we need to provide the annotation, proper annotation. And why it is important? Because with the help of this annotation, this makes our resource available here by at the REST UI uh, manage page. So annotations are very important, and correct annotations are very important. Then only we will be able to see our custom resources here. So I have provided the annotations, the name, the ID, it should be the unique ID, the label, the name of the resources, and the paths. So these are the paths that we need to provide. The chronicle one is the one to get the resources, and create one we will be using to create as we just seen through UI. So we'll be using to create our resources, and more you can add as if you want to update. So you can create a URL for update. If you want to like delete something, so you can also create a URL for delete them as well. So what we are using, so we are doing here, we are extending the resource base class, and my class name is custom resource rest resource. So I have written the whole logic here. So basically, so these are the very important methods that we would need to create here. And so this will be used to as a for the get method. So to get the node details, we'll be writing. We have I have written the logic here to get the node. So we'll be getting the ID from the URLs we'll be passing. So whenever we'll be using this API and providing the URL, so the details with regards to that particular node will get here. And the post method, if you want to create something, you can add your logic here. Likewise, if you want like a patch delete method, so similarly you can create the patch method and the delete method here. So let's now go back system. Now I have already enabled it. If you don't want to use this API or don't want your resources to be available, you can just always disable anytime. So they will not be available anymore. I'm enabling it again. Okay, so currently, even if we have the post method mentioned in the code, but if we don't want it to be used, we just want get method, or we just want our data to be fetched only through get or available through get. So we have only enabled the get method. So we are providing the data in JSON, and these two authentication methods we are using. So I just save it. All right. Now if we just go back to the Postman again. Yes. So this is our API, the REST resource we just created. The link looks like this. This was the chronicle URL we just saw. This is the base URL slash the chronicle URL we just used. So we are going to fetch the data for, let's say, one. Let's see what it gets. Okay. No authentication credentials are provided. We are trying to get something that, because we have used the basic auth method, so we are trying to get the data, but we have not provided any authentication. That is the reason we are getting this no authentication credential provided error. So going into the authentication, we are using basic auth. So this is the user we want to fetch data with, and this is the password. If I try to do that, there you go. So this is the node 1 data we are getting with the help of our custom resource. Let's fetch 59, if that works. Yes. So this is the 59 node that we created using post method, node created using post methods. So this way we can also create our custom resources. Obviously, this was the custom resource, so permissions are again very important part. So if we just go here and see, so these are the permissions that were provided that made it okay to use the resource and get the data. If we just get or remove these permissions, we would not be able to fetch the data. Let's try that if that works. we go back and see, currently it is providing. And if we just go back again and remove these permissions also, let's see what we get. All right. So now we don't have the permissions to access our custom resource. So this way we can manage our RESTful resources easily. Okay, so moving on. So here are some very useful, use cases that RESTful Web Services provides us. Like with the help of RESTful Web Services, we can create a headless CMS. We can have the front end and the view as a front end, technologies as our front end, and use our Drupal as our backend. We can use these services for building the mobile applications, and we can integrate third-party services like e-commerce and a CRS system that can be used. And we can always content syndication can be done. That means we can provide our website data to multiple websites. They can use our data and show the contents to their website also. And also obviously we can create some custom dashboards with the help of the REST APIs. So these are the helpful resources that I have also used. And if you want to explore and want to learn, so you can have a look at them. So this gets us to the conclusion. As we just explored the web full services provided by Drupal and how Drupal can help us to manage our resources very well and useful. Drupal, like as we have already seen, that Drupal web RESTful web services provides us a very powerful and a flexible way to expose and interact with the content, making it popular choice for the modern web applications. And also, whenever we are creating a REST API, so always consider security, which is whenever you are exposing your APIs, and Drupal has got very good backing for that. It and as we seen, the REST UI module, it provides us a very good UI tool to manage our REST services. So that's it from me. I think I was able to make you understand what REST API is and how Drupal can help us to manage those. Well, if you have any questions, you can ask, please.
Hi guys, thank you for watching. I had an amazing time learning all the new things here at Specbee's TECHX. And if you did too, do let us know in the comments below. Keep following Specbee for the latest trends in technology. See you in the next one.